Congratulations, you maxed. You can now play the game. What does this mean exactly? So I maxed my Ironman account on November 8th, 2022, and a lot of people would always message me, you can now play the game. What does this exactly mean? Like, I thought I've been playing the game for the past, 6 years of going for the maxing on this account. What they pretty much mean by this is now you can go ahead and do whatever you want on the game. I've always really been experience focused. I've just always felt like if I wasn't logged in gaining experience, then I kind of was wasting my time. Even doing things like bossing was kind of hard for me to do when I could just get like 200k agility XP instead, right? After maxing, I've really calmed down with experience, and I'm just really starting to learn to enjoy the game and actually get better at the game. People always say to me that Runescape is so easy, you kind of just like click on something and that's how you go ahead and kill it. And I've always kind of thought the same way, right? Even some of the higher level Slayer bosses are very simple. You go ahead and change your prayers every now and then you just kind of attack the boss, and that's pretty much about it. I've recently been getting into some of the harder bosses on RuneScape, like some of the God Wars bosses. I've been really trying to get myself into the Corrupted Gauntlet, and overall, I've been having a blast with this. And now that I'm maxed, I really don't have to worry about, wasting experience by going ahead and doing some of these fun activities. I really can't wait to go ahead and get into the raids themselves and take on those with a big team of people and not have to worry about wasting time because I'm not training agility or cooking or trying to get my Slayer experience higher per hour. I honestly thought that I would either start another account or really work on my main account a lot more, and I actually just logged into my main account for the very first time in 7 days. That hasn't happened in probably over a year. I would always try to play the two accounts side by side, AFK on one account and like go hardcore on the other one, or even just AFK on both of them and watch some Netflix or whatever in the meantime, or even watch a couple of YouTube videos. It doesn't really matter to me. But ever since I've been maxed, the feeling of, now you can play the game is so true. I can go ahead and do whatever I want to do. Like I said, I've been really focused on doing Corrupted Gauntlet and trying to go ahead and learn that. And some days I will play for 8 hours straight and and I gain less than 100,000 experience, and I'm like, Before I would have been so mad at myself if that was the case, right? If I spent 8 hours logged in and I only gained that little amount of experience, right? But you look at your other things now, like collection logs, bossing, making a ton of money is more of the goal now than just experience alone. And honestly, it's so freeing and so fun. Looking at this collection log makes me really want to go ahead and fill it for the bosses anyways. We'll maybe work on raids, clue scrolls, and mini games some other time, but the Abyssal Sire was a really fun boss that I went ahead and did with Slayer, but I'm still missing a ton of it from the boss, and even the pet, obviously, right? We're still obviously dry at the Alchemical Hydra, so we're gonna have to return to that. I do want to green log the Barrows as well, but there are some of these other bosses that I've never even tried yet, and then they just released the new Wilderness update the other day, so that'll be fun to check out as well. I look like a skiller at heart, obviously. The only green log I have is the Huspori, which is a bucket, so it is what it is. But even General Gardor I've been really getting into recently, and I finally went ahead and got the Bandos items, which I did after maxing, which is really crazy to me, right? The gauntlet we are working on right now, and I'm so proud of myself for the 17 completions of the Corrupted Gauntlet. Just bettering yourself at the game is something that I really want to go ahead and focus on, right? Some things that you never thought were possible, like soloing General Gardor, getting your bandos up, you go ahead and learn it. And if you go ahead and fully study it and get yourself like really into the content, you can go ahead and do anything you want. I used to think, 99 woodcutting was hard because it took so long, even though you just click on a tree and that's it, right? Now I think things like the Corrupted Gauntlet are hard, or maybe doing a raids or whatever, right? I really want to get better at PVM and better knowledge on ticks and everything like that, and really just better myself at the game, right? Being maxed doesn't mean you're good at the game. It just means you've had a lot of time on your hands and were able to grind out a bunch of 99s, right? None of the 99s are particularly hard, right? They just take a lot of time and dedication to go ahead and max. On my journey to max, whenever I logged in, whatever skill I was kind of like working on, I felt like I was almost obligated to go ahead and train it, right? Especially at the very end stretch there when I was going for maxing and I was only a couple, maybe 50 levels away from it, right? If I logged in and did a Slayer task instead of training agility that day or training mining that day, I really felt like I was wasting time. It is such a nice freeing feeling to go ahead and log in and do whatever you want. The one key thing I want you guys to take away from this is you do not need the max cape. It really doesn't do much for your account. It's just a prestigious thing, and I'm a completionist type player, so I personally really like the max cape. It does have a decent amount of teleports on it, but they are all teleports you can unlock with individual capes in the game, right? So unless you're a completionist player, don't go for the max cape. You know, I recommend you log into the game every day and do exactly what you want to do. If you want to log in and go ahead and do a boss, do it. Don't train agility if you don't really want to that night. I'm really far behind in my PVM knowledge now just because I was so focused on skilling and gaining the most experience that I possibly could. And now I'm going ahead and learning all of the combat. I mean, it does help that I maybe have maxed combat now and I can have the best chances at certain bosses and stuff. But there's some things that are crazy, right? Where some Ironman go ahead and get the completion of the Corrupted Gauntlet before they have 99 Slayer, before the Zolra grind even, which is crazy to me, right? Which I did this all a long time ago, and now I'm kind of going for these things like Bandos and Corrupted Gauntlet now on the account, right? But it's really nice to just log in, go ahead and do exact whatever you want, right? One day, if I'm just in the mood, I'm gonna slowly go for 200 million at cooking, because cooking was my very first 99 ever on Runescape, and I think it would be a cool thing to go ahead and get 200 million experience on an Ironman account, right? So I'm gonna slowly work towards my goal of 200 mil cooking, right? Fishing and catching carbons, getting the Kingdom of Miscellanea to collect me swordfish and tuna. And if I'm feeling like playing my other account one day, or I'm just not in the mood to play RuneScape, I can just hop in and train cooking or go do the Motherlode mine or whatever I want to go ahead and do. But it's just such a nice feeling to be free of training agility, really. Like I was talking about at the start of the video, I thought I would honestly play the game less, be a little bit more demotivated. I kind of would feel like everything is done, but I kind of feel like the game is just starting, and I really do understand the now you can play the game that everyone keeps saying, because it's honestly true, man. You want to playing a game, you're supposed to have fun, right? Running agility laps, I'm always going to go back to that, isn't really the most fun, entertaining thing in the world, but killing a boss is, or doing exactly what you want to go ahead and do is. If getting experience and going for ranks is fun to you, then go ahead and do that. But if killing bosses is fun, doing raids, doing clue scrolls, whatever it might be is fun, go ahead and do that as well, right? You don't have to wait till you're maxed, but once you are maxed and you can go ahead and do that without feeling bad about missing out on experience, it's honestly such a great feeling. Now I can play the game, now I can go ahead and do all of the things I've always wanted to go ahead and do on this game and better myself. Who knows, one day we might even try the Inferno. If I can get a Corrupted Gauntlet kill, I can do the Inferno, man. You know what I mean? I mean, that's a pretty big step, but I died 90 plus times at the Corrupted Gauntlet, and I'm still dying more than I'm actually getting kills, but it is what it is. I'm learning every single time I go in. But yeah, anyways, now I can play the game. Thank you guys so much for watching the video today. Let me know if you've had any experience with this as well. Let me know if you are not maxed, if you just log in and do whatever you want to go ahead and do. I'd be really curious to know how many people actually force themselves to get 99s, or how many people just log in and enjoy the game. And if you do, if forcing yourself to get a 99 is enjoying the game, which it kind of was for me, then let me know about that as well down in the comments. I always love to know. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.